you ever wish you knew exactly how long you had left to live? When I was in my 20s, I thought I had all the time in the world. Planning for death, that was the last thing on my mind. It felt like something distant, something older people do, or those dealing with health issues. As an estate planning attorney, I've prepared thousands of wills and trusts for my clients, and I've seen a lot. Over the years, I've learned how fragile life can be. Let me take you back to October 12th, 2000. My ship, the USS Cole, was docked in Aden, Yemen for refueling. Now, I've been up all night navigating the ship into port. So once we were secured, I prepared the charts we need for our departure later that day. Exhausted, I headed to the mess hall to grab some lunch. But for whatever reason, I decided to skip the line and get a few hours of much-needed sleep instead. Minutes after I lay down, a massive blast hurled me out of my rack. Our ship had been bombed. Scrambling to get dressed, I rushed out of the berthing area only to be met with thick, suffocating smoke. One passageway I tried to go down was completely blocked. The other led me to a devastating sight. Dozens of injured shipmates. Many of them were lying motionless on the deck. We did everything in our power to save as many of them as possible. At the end of that tragic day, 37 sailors were injured and 17 young sailors lost their lives. Most of them were sitting in the mess hall where I would have been had I not skipped lunch. That day, I learned how fragile life truly is. It can change or end in an instant. Since then, I've lost friends, family, and clients to unexpected deaths. And look, none of them plan to die. But here's the truth. The most responsible thing we could do as an adult is to plan for the inevitable. And no, it's not just something for older people to do. In fact, when death comes unexpectedly when we're young, it's often far more devastating for the loved ones we leave behind. Let me share the story of a young couple in their 20s. Like so many of us at that age, they were busy building their future and dreaming of what was to come. Tragically, the husband died in a motorcycle accident. Like many young couples, they didn't have any significant savings or assets other than the husband's small business. The wife assumed she would inherit his business, but because he didn't have a will or a trust, she was forced to split his business with the husband's 11-year-old son from a prior relationship. As you can imagine, the wife was devastated, and her financial future was thrown into turmoil. All of that could have been avoided had they taken a little time to plan. Or consider the story of an elderly couple who spent 55 beautiful years together, but never got married. Imagine a lifetime of love, shared memories, and commitments. Florida doesn't recognize common law marriage, so when the boyfriend died, his assets, which were worth millions, all went to his estranged son. The girlfriend, who he had shared a lifetime with, she was left with nothing. Nothing. Again, this heartbreak could have easily been avoided had they taken a little time to plan. And if you're a young couple with minor children, consider this. What happens if you and your partner die unexpectedly? Who will raise your children? Without a will naming a guardian, a judge who you don't know will decide who raises your children. After your death, as many as 4 sets of grandparents could fight for custody of your children. Or worse, they could be split up and have to live in different cities or states. By naming a guardian in your will, you ensure that your children's future is decided by you, not some stranger. Planning for the inevitable, it's not just about setting up a will or establishing the trust. It's also about planning for a situation where you're incapacitated. Imagine, you're 18 years old, fresh out of high school, and starting college at your dream college. Then, a car accident leaves you in a coma. Who will pay your bills? Who will make medical decisions for you? Without the proper legal documents in place, even your parents won't have access to your bank accounts or the authority to act on your behalf. By setting up a durable power of attorney and a healthcare surrogate designation, you ensure that someone you trust can step in for you when you no longer can. Let me share one more story with you, one closer to home. A good friend of mine, someone vibrant, full of life, and deeply committed to his family, died unexpectedly in his 30s. Now, he had taken the time to plan for vacations. He had plans for promotions, even milestones. But he hadn't planned for what would happen if he was no longer here. After his death, his family faced not only the unbearable grief of his loss, but they also faced legal battles, financial uncertainty, and emotional strain. It was a stark reminder that planning for the inevitable, it's not about expecting the worst, no. It's about preparing ahead so the loved ones you leave behind have a sense of stability and security. The truth is, none of us know how long we have left to live. We could still be dancing the cha-cha well into our 90s, or we could be gone tomorrow. But what we can do is prepare. Take a few moments now to ensure your loved ones are protected when you're no longer here. Because at the end of the day, preparing for the inevitable, it's not just a legal or financial decision. It's an act of love. It's a way of saying to your family, look, I've thought of you, and I want to make things as easy as possible for you when I'm no longer here. And please don't wait. I've seen far too many young lives cut short. And as I shared, I came that close to losing mine. Planning for your death is the greatest gift that you can give to those you care about the most. So start today. Your future and theirs depends on it. Thank you.